Good morning, good people. Welcome back to A Moment on Mondays with your girl, your sister. I'm your friend and personal growth coach, Stephanie R. Strong. And this morning, I'd like to speak to you about toxic conversations. Now, before we get into our little talk, if you would just indulge me for a moment and allow me to define for you the word toxic, not that you don't know or understand what it means, but for the context of what we're going to speak about. Well, as I was looking for the right definition, the one that stood out the most for me was the one by Wikipedia. And it simply says or defines the word toxic as poisonous substance produced from within living cells or organisms. And now, when I look back over my lifetime, I've heard many people refer to other people as toxic. I've heard people make references to bad relationships as that relationship was very toxic. Or even I myself have said, wow, that person carries a lot of toxic energy. And I thought about this definition that Wikipedia gave, and I'm thinking to myself, toxic matter originates or is produced from within. We are the source of our own toxic matter. And the way toxic matter manifests into toxic conversations is when our thoughts become so poisonous about ourselves or poisonous about other people that it manifests into a dump site of negativity. Just wasteful, toxic matter is just horrible. But not to say that you're horrible, not to say that I'm horrible, but the thoughts that we have are so poisonous that it produce a lot of toxic energy, toxic matter, and worse, toxic conversations. Now, I know that everybody talks to him or herself. We all do. There's no mystery to it. We talk to ourselves. But when those conversations produce thoughts that we ruminate over and over and over again about ourselves and other people, this is what turns into a lot of toxic conversation that leads to a decrease in productivity. It leads to unfulfilled life. It leads to not being able to get along with people. It leads to criticism so much. So my question to you is, have you been having toxic conversations with yourself? Mind you, toxic matter or toxins are produced from within living cells or organisms. So somewhere in your past, somewhere in your mind, somewhere in your experiences, there have been a lot of toxic matter, a lot of toxins going on. And so if you are going to overcome toxic conversations from within, then there's a few things that you're going to have to do. Number one, this week I want you to really think about your self-image, because your toxic conversation really informs how you see yourself, your self-image, the blueprint, the picture of what you think you look like or who you think you are. So this week, I want you to, number one, I like for you to get somewhere quiet and still. I want you to either get a hand mirror or stand in front of a mirror. And I want you to look into that mirror. And I want you to write down what you see. Not what you look like, but what you see. Describe it. What picture do you see? Number two, I want you to write 3 categories: what I like, what I don't like, and what I like to change. That's it. That's all that I want you to do for this week. And when we come back together on next week, we'll talk a little bit more about what you like, what you don't like, and what you like to change, and how these toxins and how this toxic conversation that you've been having over and over and over and over again, how it has impeded your progress through life, how it has affected your self-image. And we're going to try to see if we can flesh this all out so that you and I can have a better image or better perception about ourselves, so that we can have positive and informative and helpful and healthy conversations rather than toxic conversations. Well, that's all that I have for you today. I look forward to seeing you on next week. Please come check me out at presencewithpurpose.net, and don't forget to pick up a copy of my book, When Tulips Bloom, a personal guide for blossoming through the difficult seasons of life. I will see you on next Monday, but until then, make this your best.